to go back to the friendship stuff. It's like I know I'm building it, and I know it takes patience. I know I've been working on my patience, but it is still frustrating. It's fucking lonely.
I always say, whenever people ask me how life is, I always go, well, comedy's going great. It's always what I say. I don't, the game is lonely.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think I feel that a lot because I'm so personable, just like by nature, but still I don't feel, and this is a feeling, I still don't feel as if people are looking out for me.
Looking out for you as a person or as a comedian or both?
Maybe both.
Okay.
And this could be from my childhood.
Probably.
And how I constantly felt overlooked, and because there are people in my face like, no, like I love you, I care about you, and there are people have helped me, people have like there's no proof in this. It's kind of just a mind thing.
All right. Well, to make it more personal, because you're my friend, I think.
Right.
And you're my jawbreaker.
Right.
Do you think I not look out for you? Because I reach out to you. I actually about a month, once a month, I'm usually like, okay, let me check in on Kyle.
And you do, and I appreciate that. And it's the thing is like, and my mother figured this out the other day. We got into like a small argument, but I told you we've been working on our relationship for the last 2 years.
Better?
Yes,
Okay.
a lot better.
Let's go.
And I was like, hey, I'm not mad at you. I'm like, do you know that I love you? She was like, yeah. I was like, but do you know that I love you? She was like, yeah.
So you did that thing from Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
It's okay.
And so then she goes, do you know that I love you? And I go, no. And then I was like, because my friends know that I feel that way. I'm like, I don't think that anyone loves me. I never have thought that anyone loves me. I've never thought it, ever. Yeah. But I didn't mean to drop that onto her. And so I won't act as if it's not just a feeling that I have in my fucked up brain that everybody hates me and everyone's overlooking me. But then I'm pretty good at arguing, so I can argue that point in my head about how there's
You're
proof.
taking something so logical, though. Like something that's a feeling and then turning it into logic.
Yep.
Yeah. When I had a therapist and then my credit card got declined.
Conditional love.
Yeah. He talked to me about that, about like I'm being hyper logical about everything. He when we would do our sessions, he would say, okay, you're not allowed to say I think. You have to say I feel.
Yeah, I've been working on the I feel shit because fuck how I feel. What do I think? What is here?
Right.
What is real? What is tangible?
Do you think you grew up around the whites? Yeah.
50-50.
Dude. I have this theory that's part of that's growing up around white people. That's my theory.
My close knits have always been black, and I don't know how much their whiteness rubbed off on me. Cause in Ohio, I never got that whole light skin, dark skin shit until I moved out to Chicago.
Oh, they're all about it.
Cause in Ohio,
You're just black. You're just a nigga.
you're a nigga. That's it. That's all you were in Ohio. It doesn't. You could be lighter than me. You're a nigga, dude. Are you fucking joking?
I liked how you just said, are you fucking joking?
That's-
Your Ohio just
yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
The same thing. If like back in Riverside, it's like, you're just black. It is. Yeah, I get you.
And so like I don't know if they're, and I was never like if anything, I tried to identify more with like the hood blacks when I was growing up. Before I tried to like assimilate to whiteness. I've never really tried to assimilate to whiteness. My dad was really big on like black excellence, be proper, be clean. That shit was always, but it always had the undertone of black. I was never like, oh, I want to be white. I've never been like, oh, I want to be white. I think I'm so comfortably me that for anyone that wants to categorize something, they go like, oh, you're this and I'm like, you're so fucking incorrect.
What does that mean to you? Comfortably you. What do you mean?
Okay. So like, for example, just the easiest one. For like this all my life, there's always been a small population that goes like, oh, you're gay. Like all my life. I got beat. Niggas used to beat me up and call me gay and weird all the time. But like I'm not. So what I always say is that like I'm a little gay. but like I'm not homosexual. Does that make sense?
Metrosexual. If we're to give it a name.
No. Fuck that. Like I'm a little gay,
Okay,
but I'm not homosexual.
Okay, then what does that put me on the spectrum?
That's for you to figure out.
That was a beautiful moment.
Because my thing is like, and you can ask, and I hate to be like, well, my gay friend, but no, you could ask they're like, oh, Kyron doesn't give a fuck. We had a Halloween party a couple years ago, and I wear dresses every year for Halloween because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And so these guys, and I could probably say their name, but I won't have to. So they're like kissing my cheek and grabbing my tits and my ass and shit. And then my one friend, she goes like, Kyron, it'd be so much funnier if you were like homophobic, like if you weren't comfortable with this. She was like, but you're so comfortable that it kind of takes the fun out. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't care if a nigga grabs my dick. Like that doesn't mean that I.
What if he's being real violent about it?
It's happened.
Wait, what?
A lot of shit, a lot of sexual shit. That's why. I think that's why I'm comfortable. Shit has gotten very strange. I've sucked a dick way back.
Okay.
Shit's been weird. I've gotten weird, but then that's how I was like, oh well, I just don't like this, and I don't mind that, and I enjoy this. So now I'm just comfortable in the surrounding area.
I think that's where we connect. I want to figure out where it is where we're on the same page and where we're not. Because on that level, we are 100% on the same page, especially with the sexual stuff. Like 100%. We talked about the pegging stuff. We talked about the trans stuff.
We're not on the same page
about the. Hold on. Let me get this straight.
About this pegging shit. Nothing has ever entered my bum ever.
Let me get this straight. So a dick in your mouth, totally fine.
I wouldn't say that it was totally fine.
But you're
I wanted to play Xbox. That was a means to an end. All right.
Your visceral reaction to that versus you know what I mean? All right.
There was a goal I needed to achieve, and I was like, well, there's a dick right here.
You have to suck the dick to play the Xbox?
Felt like it.
What the fuck are you saying? This is already a mess. What are you saying?
What's confusing?
That doesn't matter.
I just did a thing to get a thing, transactional.
To get the Xbox?
Not just to play. I didn't like it.
You didn't even get to keep the Xbox. That's so unbalanced. That's not a fair transaction. You got duped, dog.
I mean, yeah, I got a lot of shit. Got dicked. It was crazy.
Did he come?
No.
Okay.
No.
That takes effort.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like putting that much in.
Do you respect women's blowjobs more now after?
Thought you were gonna ask if I respect women. I was gonna be like, hell no. All right. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
I don't. Well, no, because still it's much easier. Because I sucked his.
You think sucking a dick is easier than eating pussy?
Without a doubt.
I disagree.
That's okay.
Why?
Because it's very now. Here's the thing. Okay. It is. Wait. We're saying that eating a vagina.
Yes.
Is
easier.
Oh, wrong. Incorrect. Because there's technique. Suck a dick, you really just have to keep your teeth out of it.
I disagree, dog.
That's okay. Well, have you sucked?
Trans woman's. So I don't know if that counts in the same way.
But like only the one?
Yeah.
So that's the only dick you ever...
No. Two.
Okay, well then by default, you got more experience than I do.
Okay. I'm better than you.
You're better than me.
Okay.
Right? I only got the one, and it wasn't that long.
Same, because hormones. So it's
right.
But what I'm saying is, in my head. You know what it is? I'm just more comfortable with vaginas.
We're so progressive, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
We're so woke.
You got your Cosby sweater on, and you're not even uncomfortable.
Not at all. Yeah. Not at all. But I'm clearly more comfortable with vaginas, but that doesn't change it. Oh, but every vagina is different.
Yes.
Everyone. Clit's different. The hood, you got to find it. Labia.
Yeah, and every woman is different.
Know my shit.
Yeah, he knows.
Know my shit.
He knows it.
They are.
Yes.
And so like with my ex, the one, we could knock that out the park in like 20 minutes. Give her a good 3-4. We'll be good.
But you have to adjust.
Got to learn
switch it up.
what she likes and what's specific for her and shit. And that's a technique.
I think I imagine. I got to talk to Sean Banks about this. I imagine. I got to get him back on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine that there's also technique to some level with penis.
I'm sure that you can do technique to make it the best it could be. I'm sure that you can make them come faster, be harder. I'm sure you could do all that shit. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're sucking.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, for a vagina, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot more.
All right, I'll give you that, and I'll say that I think that in my experience, because I've had so many experiences with vaginas, it's incomparable. I would have to start catching up on the dicks to even get close to understanding, because I just understand eating pussy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You get it. Take off your pants.
What has this turned into? How do we even get
I
here?
don't know. Oh, or what? Where we're on the same page, where we're not. So
Right.
Okay, so then in finding friends, right? We were talking about how I will never say it to her face, but Rachel is like my best friend in the scene, and I will never let her listen to this, so she doesn't get to get
All
it.
good.
Yeah, she will cut that clip and then play it for me every day.
Oh, I'm sure she'll put on a story, tag you and shit.
It'll be incredibly irritating. But it's like I need black male friends, and and I'm not gonna say their names because I know they'd be pissed off for me to even associate them with a gay-ish discussion. You know what I'm saying? Let me write it down. But
No, I'm aware. I know how they get, but that's why the comfortability thing is thrown on me, which I appreciate. And no woman I'll put it like this. I've never, yes.
Yeah. So it's like he could not fathom this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, if you would just understand that I've never lost pussy talking about this shit.
Right.
If anything.
Yeah.
This has aided because there's this thing, because like I'm not when it comes to, I make a lot of jokes about how I'm like not masculine. Like I'm like, oh, I've never cut wood. I don't drink beer because I'm not a man. I make a lot of jokes like that.
Sure.
But when it comes to just like baseline who I am as a person, I am masculine as fuck. I'm assertive. I make decisions. I'm like, I am that regard. But there's this where the whole toxic masculinity shit comes into play. It's kind of associated around sex and then around how you view other genders.
Yeah.
And that's where the toxic part comes in. And so it's been a lot of niggas that are like confused at how I'm so open to talk about this. And I'm like, well, nigga, if you saw the pussy I was getting off of this, you'd be open about it too.
I think it.
You'd suck dick for some Xbox. I'll let you know.
Oh, good lord! You didn't get the Xbox.
No, just played a couple games.
You just played a couple. That's
Played a couple
crazy.
games. Played a couple games. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But played a couple games.
Did you win? Did you win the game? Nick, please don't.
The thing is just they were games that I didn't have. Like I would have never been able to play these games anywhere else.
Did you win the game?
I don't remember.
Oh god damn it! Either way.
I don't remember.
I'm in my jawbreaker analogy. There's different angles to it, and so I'm getting something out of being friends with these guys. Like I really am. I really do appreciate them and what they've been bringing to my life. An angle in my life that I've just never really had. I have I have a few black male friends from back home, but it's just different out here. And then you can fill this little piece here. You know what I'm saying? Like your energy in this, we're on the same page. Where we're not on the same page, I would say, is things like schedules.
Oh yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, but I'm willing to adjust. Are you willing to adjust?
To like becoming a scheduled person?
No, not becoming a scheduled person, but like working with. So, for example, Ty. I'll give Ty as an example.
Right.
I'm Ty Riggs, not Kai.
Right.
I hate y'all names. Ty has, through being around me, has learned a little bit about how to talk to me when shit is going down.
Right.
Like I get really angry, I blow up, and I just have outbursts. And Ty's gotten very good at being like, chill.
You're good. Yeah.
It's okay. And I see that he knows how to communicate that to me. When I'm freaking the fuck out, most people's reaction is almost to get just as loud. It's like you're making this worse.
You're escalating. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ty's very calm.
He's a very calm, grounded dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he has adjusted to that a little bit, and I've adjusted to how he works a little bit. Rachel has her things and isms and vice versa. We've adjusted to each other. I know what lines are with Rachel. I know how to talk to her in certain situations and vice versa. When it comes to just hanging out and stuff, I'm willing to adjust to your flexibility, but I would hope as my friend that you'd be willing to adjust to my desire of schedule and some organization.
The thing that gets me with scheduling.
Okay.
Okay.
You could do. You said, Nick, we're talking about crazy shit. Like, you good? I don't
YouTube
think,
doesn't like it.
I don't think anyone gives a fuck about my podcast. Like, nobody gives a fuck about my. Oh, a few people. Actually, no. Let me stop being so self-deprecating.
People definitely give a fuck.
You think so?
Yes, I love it, especially with the. My only thing that I told you in the very beginning is you need video.
Sure.
And the video is beautiful.
Yeah, it does
looks
look a lot
so. It looks so good. And we talk about real shit.
Yeah, and I have gotten compliment. I should stop saying people don't give a fuck, because there are people who give a fuck, and I get consistent 50 to about 80 views.
That's good.
Yeah. But and it usually depends on the guest, like who,
Right.
But you were saying adjusting.
Yeah. So the thing with scheduling is that no matter what, because I'm very organized in specific areas,
Okay.
which is hard to believe. But then when I have to be organized in areas other than like obviously like comedy bookings and scheduling when I do posts on Instagram because I have a following and making sure that but all of that stresses me out. It all stresses me out. I'm constantly stressed out. So then the place where I don't want to be stressed out is to see someone that I care about. And then if I have to schedule that, then I'm like, this is not fun. This is rehearsed. Same thing that I do with women. I always say, and I'm like a virgin and shit, but like say that I'm about to like kiss a girl or something.
Okay.
I would much rather us just meet somewhere, preferably at a show. We meet somewhere, that way you already...
that you can be charming and charismatic on stage?
Well, I don't want them to, I don't want to know that. Like, I don't even want to set up that you're coming to. I just would prefer to just first time meet you at a show. And then like we fall into a conversation. I like spontaneity of shit because it feels organic.
Spontaneity?
Yeah, sure.
I just like correcting you because I know you like to be right all the time.
I do.
Okay.
But I would take that. When I'm wrong, I'll take it. Spontaneity?
Spontaneity.
I've never said that word in my life.
Okay.
I've always said spontaneity. I've never said that word. Spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
Cool. I like that. I like spontaneous shit,
Yeah,
basically.
sure. Yeah.
And because it feels inorganic. It feels like synthetic to I don't like going on dates. Like, why are we doing that? Like, I'd much rather us meet each other and then be like, oh, are you hungry? And then go do that. Because then it's just it feels more free willed instead of any type of force. Like if you know that I love gummy worms.
Do you love gummy worms?
I love gummy worms.
I didn't know that about you.
The Trolley gummy worms.
Ah.
If you just see me one day and go like, oh shit, hey, I forgot, I picked these up for you. I'd be like, holy shit.
You know that's gonna happen now, right?
But don't, because I said it. And so now is it happening
Now I'm gonna
because
do it
I
to
said
upset
it?
you.
And it will upset, because I'm like, I want it to just be the same logic that like women have with like, I don't want you to give me flowers now because I told you that I want flowers. Sure. I get that sentiment.
Sure.
So it's like, I don't want to see you because because are we seeing each other because we want to see each other? Or are we seeing each other because we scheduled to see each other, and now if we don't do this commitment, we're pieces of shit?
For me, it is we schedule because we're adults and we're busy. And it's like, I want to see you, so let me plot out some time so that can happen.
But then being busy and then being like, no, you know what? I got a fucking second and we're here. Let's kick it. That feels good to me.
I agree. It feels good to me as well. And I think part of where I'm getting better at that is by going out with my CBD.
Right.
Man, weed is a tricky drug.
Depends on the person.
For me, weed is a tricky drug because it has chilled me out. I've developed a lot of relationships through it.
Right.
But it destroys my motivation.
Definitely depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because that's not similar for me at all.
I'm jealous.
My mom was raised in like the fucking Reagan era. She thinks I'm a lazy piece of shit whenever I'm like, I do so much when I'm high. But then like having like, oh my God, having like whatever. I don't want to go in that area.
Okay, we don't have to go. We don't have to go wherever you don't want to go.
Thank you.
What I will say though is, for comedic sake, I will be getting you a lot of gummy worms.
Don't.
No, I'm gonna fill up an entire bag.
I'm gonna eat them all, but I'm gonna be pissed.
I want you
That'll
to
be
cry
an
while
angry
you're doing
ass chew.
But in the friendship stuff,
Right.
Ooh, you ready for a little bit of my feelings?
Okay.
Okay, you prepared, Kai?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna feel good.
I'm waiting.
sometimes it's fake is not the right word.
Okay.
Fake is definitely not the right word because you are incredibly genuine in a similar way to Hunter
Right.
Hirsch, because you guys are like Aspergered out or whatever.
Yeah, we're just both
Yeah.
autistic.
So you are so friendly and so welcoming and so like, I'm Kai. Everybody look at me. I'm Kai. I love you, man. I'm Kai. That sometimes when you say to me like, you're my really good friend, Aaron, I'm like, am I?
Only few people have really had a moment where I will sit them down,
Mm-hmm.
usually when I'm inebriated in some regard.
Yeah.
But that's when I'm like, I need you to understand
Mm.
that like when I say that I fuck with you, I genuinely fuck with you. So if we've had that moment, which we have,
We have.
that is no bullshit.
I believe you.
Because I love everybody.
Yeah.
I genuinely I do. Like it's I kind of hate how much I love everybody, but I also don't like many people.
Let's make I really want to dig into that because
Okay.
I want to see where we're connecting, where we're on the same page, where we're not on the same
Right.
page. So you love everybody, but you don't like people.
I really do love everybody.
But you hate how much you love everybody.
I don't hate anybody.
You hate the fact that you love everybody.
Yeah.
Why?
Why do I hate the fact that I love everybody?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it is, throughout my life, it has opened me up to a lot of hurt. And so like it's not the I love everybody as in I see the positive in everybody. That is definitely not it. It's just that like I like weird people and I like the shit that makes people people. And so it's like I love you. I'm inviting for you. And then I feel like me inviting people in has allowed a lot of hurt. And so then with all that hurt compiled, and then I see like similar, because we went over, I love psychology and social, all that shit. And so then like when I see similar patterns in people, I go like, oh, well, I don't like that because these three people had it and they did horrible things to me. I still love you, but now I don't like that because I see what you're doing. I see how that's playing. And it's a really kind of like, not insular. It's like a really, it's kind of like it's a vicious cycle of pattern recognition that gets applied to any people that I meet in the future based off people that I
Have look. Yeah.
looked at in the past.
No, I get you. Okay, that makes sense. And I think I like everybody, but I only love a few people. Does that?
Yeah, but liking is really hard to do.
What do you
Loving is easy. Liking is hard.
break that down for me, sir?
This is so easy. I love, like, I pray every night for my mom. Have we gone over my family?
You know my memory thing.
Okay. My mom, child of 9, big family. Hate damn near every one of them.
Okay.
Don't like. I know that I just said that I don't hate, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm a comic. I use hyperbole.
Yes.
I don't like them, right? But I love them. Pray for them every night. Want nothing bad to happen to them. Pray for their safety. Pray for their health. I don't like them. Don't put me in a room with them. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to speak to them. But I love you. I do love you, and I wish nothing. I wish nothing but growth and prosperity for you. But I do not like you. It takes much more to like you, because liking inherently is to also tolerate. And as an adult now, the way that you treated me as a child, I don't want to tolerate you anymore. There is no tolerance for who you are as a person. I love you because you're a person, but I refuse to tolerate who you are as a person. Therefore, I don't like you.
I see what you're saying, and under that definition of it, I think I'm shockingly tolerant
Yeah?
of people. I think what it is I'm fascinated by people, and in a way that is very tolerant. It's like there's people in this scene that I'm not a fan of, but I don't. Weirdly enough, I don't dislike them. I'm more fascinated. I think weird people are interesting, and comics are all fucking weird, and I enjoy. I enjoy watching someone just be them, even if them is shitty.
Right.
It's like, well, I know you're just being you.
I feel like that, for me, that falls under love.
Why?
I'm like, oh, you just gotta love them. Gotta love them. I don't want to be locked in a room with you, but hey, gotta
Sure.
love you.
To me, I think it's just a vernacular thing. To me, it's
Probably.
like, oh, I like them. That's in my head. I'm like, yeah, I like them.
Yeah, it is. It's semantics. We're caught
Okay,
up on
we're talking semantics. We're on the same page, though.
Yeah, but I'm also not patient. I'm the least patient person I know.
With people?
Anything in life, I am wildly impatient, and people close to me disagree with that because they're like, "No, you'll be patient with me and you'll speak with me through things." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like you've never seen me mad." But you've seen me annoyed like 6 times a day. Like I'm such an easily annoyed person. I don't have patience.
Okay. Here's a moment where I would say you were patient with me when you called me to get a hold of Rachel. Mm-hmm. And we actually this bothered. Oh, you ready? This bothered me a little bit.
Okay.
Remember when we were in the green room and I was like, hey Kai, when you're done with all your stuff, can I talk to you? Are you mad at me? And this is in front of everybody. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I was like, no, can we just talk? Are you mad at me?
But you were.
Pinky swear. I wasn't mad at you.
But you were.
I wasn't.
But the connotation of the conversation was negative emotion directed towards Kyron. And that's all I wanted to know.
It was no. Okay.
Come on, be for real.
No, I'm mad. I'm frustrated at my situation. You're the conduit of it. You
Right.
were the catalyst of that
Right.
moment. But I'm not mad at you, especially after I got context. We should
Right.
give some context for whoever the fuck is listening to the.
They don't need context.
They don't need context.
No, we
fought.
I did an act. We didn't even fight. I did an action. Aaron didn't appreciate the action. He explained why he didn't appreciate it. I explained why it occurred the way that it occurred.
Yes,
That's it.
that was a really good summation.
And I apologize.
But in my so for me, I was like, I know you're running around, so this was the only time I could be like, hey, later
But
when you're
that
done.
freaks me out.
Why?
Because I've been like cheated on like 11 times, and my parents were never married. And so then whenever I would come home from school, my mom would never be honest and wait for me to like go to bed before she would kick my door down and whoop me and shit. Like whenever there's a thing, wherever there's a precursor, you're upset with me.
Okay.
Because whenever someone's just happy with me, then they just run in and smile and hug me. But when there's a, hey, we need to, and you know this, hey, we need to. We need to.
Okay.
Not right now because you're busy. That's like if I'm about to go on stage and then my grandma calls me and is like, hey, your grandpa just... I'm like, bitch, could you have fucking waited 11 minutes?
Sure.
It's like a...
Okay, here's a moment. All right, now here's a moment where I will... This is an example of how I will adjust, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm ever frustrated with you, the reason I approached it that way was because I knew you were going to keep running around, and this was the only moment I could get you to like know, like
But then that was all that was on my mind.
Right. How in the future, if I'm ever upset, how do I approach you?
When I have a second.
Okay, wait until you have a second, then
Then just be like, yo, let's chat real quick. And then as we're walking to wherever we're gonna chat, I'm gonna say, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad? I'm going to. I know that I'm going to.
Sure.
But then it's not constantly in the back of my mind as I'm trying to do all this other shit.
So that's fair because in my head, like that day, Rachel was like, hey, I can just talk to Kai. I'm like, no.
Right.
This is some man shit. I need to
Right.
talk to him myself. Right. And
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
You know, I like the upfront, bring it to the table. I
Right.
appreciate that.
But it in my head, I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know when you were gonna be done. So I was just like, let me just let you know that there is a thing. But fair enough. Regardless, I will adjust to that. That's what I mean by like adjusting to a way a person communicates or deals with
Right.
stuff. Is there a thing you can adjust with me, Kai?
Yes, I would not yell, are you mad at me?
Oh, thanks. Appreciate
That's
it.
such bullshit. I know that I'm going to. I know
That's
that
fine.
I'm
It's not
going
that. It's
to.
not that. It's what I mean by
Okay.
Okay.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Did I not, like you told me, because you know that I like to respond immediately whenever something is occurring. Like when I'm listening to a story, I respond. I have a really like my retention thing is through engagement.
Sure.
So like I'm listening, but I'm gonna ask a question and make a so when you were like, can you just shut the fuck up for a second?
When I said don't interrupt me, yeah.
And did I not do that to a T?
You did.
To a T.
You did it.
Is that not adjusting?
That is adjusting.
Because there was so much that I wanted to say in the moment,
Believe you.
and I didn't. And I sat there, and I was vaping, and I'm like, if I have this, I won't be able to speak. That's adjusting, and I really did that.
You did it, and it's appreciated.
And then it was like no
It's fun,
bullshit. I
yeah.
understood you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I get this. I see where I went wrong in this.
Yeah, and it's
And I only care about because I appreciate. It's not about right or wrong. It's just about here's my side, and then so long as I just get to be like, and here's my thing.
Yeah.
This is the angle, and we did that.
yes. And to add to that, to explain what I mean by I wasn't mad at you, is you calling me to get a hold of Rachel,
Right.
yeah, of course.
Makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. And I'm upset that it makes perfect sense.
But the context under it,
right. It's
overshadow and things like that.
right. I'm like, there's some other two comics that are associated with each other like all the time.
Right.
And not in any sort of bad way. I'm timing it on my phone so so I don't miss it, because I keep missing it. Hold on. Okay, these comics.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like, just when you think of one, you think of the other.
Right.
And I don't mind that with Rachel. I don't mind that like, yeah, they're around each other all the. It made perfect fucking sense for you to call me to get a hold of Rachel. It makes perfect sense. With those two, though, there's this equal playing field in
I'm following.
right, and with Rachel, it's not that it's
I'm following.
and it's so frustrating because I'm like, well, I think I said this to you as well, like, well, you guys are always around each other. Well, fucking hang out with me then. Message me. I'm a pretty open, like, I'm willing to go mini golf with you. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So it's like, well, she's reaching out to me. Since we've met, she would reach out and vice versa. And so
Right.
there's a mutual relationship that developed. And for me, it's like, I don't want to be in someone's fucking shadow. I'm a good comic. I'm good at this. And it feels like I'm not being treated as such. And part of that's a piece of it. Obviously not her fault, but that's a piece of what frustrates me. I don't know.
I don't have much to say to that. Yeah, I don't have much to say to that. I think that there is just I don't have much to say to that. I think that because I hear you and I understand it, and I feel pretty alone all the time. So that's such a different.
Why do you feel alone all the time?
It's a lot. It's a lot of reasons why I feel alone all the time. But I just kind of always have. I've always kind of been. Oh, this is going to sound sadder than it is, so I don't mean it like this, but I don't know how else to frame it.
You need some gummy worms for you?
No.
Okay.
I always feel like I've always been in a crowded place and I've felt alone. And then if I'm in a crowded place and I'm with 2 or 3 people that really know, because the thing is that to get to really know me, it's kind of, time doesn't determine a friendship for me. Shouldn't determine a friendship for most people, but it doesn't determine it for me.
I think it's a factor.
But that's the thing. It's a factor in people seeing my evolution and then the respect that I want to come from that. Okay. Like one of the things with my ex, the big one, is that I'm like, you met such a good version of me that the shit that we're arguing about right now is so minuscule in comparison to who I was that it feels like we're just pulling at straws to find something to be mad at.
I remember you talking about how you hated that she would look for an excuse
to be angry with me.
Right.
And I'm like, I have done so much work that you haven't seen that is allowing this thing right now to be the only issue that we have. Mm-hmm. And so it infuriates me. And it's the same way that I feel like with my family, where when they speak to me, they're not speaking to me as someone who became a man. They're speaking to me as that 7-year-old boy that they would get pissed off at all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like I have grown and adapted and changed so much. Mm-hmm. And so the reason that I feel alone often is because the friends that I have now that have been around for 5, 6, 3, 4 years, they have seen this arc of me. So when they speak to me and they know the current me, they speak to me kind of similar to how we speak to each other. Like
Okay.
I have a because I try to be upfront. Like if I like somebody and I want us to be effective. So like my buddy Zane, I pissed him the fuck off. Like real deal, really pissed him off.
Okay.
Do I think that he was being a little bitch about it?
Is he gonna watch this?
I'm just gonna show him this part.
Okay.
No. But really, I did piss. I did do objectively.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that objectively I did something wrong, but objectively I took it too far.
Okay. I'm assuming you're being vague on purpose.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Objectively I took it too far. And now the part that I didn't like is that he was like, I'm just going to ignore you for a couple of days. That pissed me the fuck off, drove me insane. And then when we finally did talk, he was like, okay, can I say my piece? And I'm like, yes. And he was like, all right. And then as he was talking, he was going like, he would say something to me like, and I know that this wasn't your intent. And then he would say the thing. And he would say, I know that this isn't what you did, but this is what it felt like you did. And he would say the thing. And so it was a whole lot of not going like this. And there was a whole lot of going like, I feel this way about this thing. And it was the most beautiful handling of a dispute I have had in years. And I remember I was talking to another friend about how me and Zane had this. We talked on the phone for like 3 hours. And then by the end of it, we were laughing and bullshitting and hanging out again. And it was such a masterclass of how to handle conflict. And I just remember talking to this other friend like, damn, why couldn't she have done that?
The ex?
Yeah. Because I make it so clear to people that I love. Like, because I'm like, bro, I get annoyed at nothing. All I'm asking you is to please frame it this way. Don't cushion shit. Zane didn't cushion anything. Mm-hmm. He was just like, and now I know that this isn't what you did, but this is how I felt. That's not a cushion. That's him just going like, because he wanted to go, and you did this, and you did this, and you did. And that's easy to do. But then I get agitated. And now it's just two adults agitated, arguing, and it's no longer about like how we handled it. Here's how I feel. Here's my perspective. Here's how I feel. Here's my perspective. Now it's here's what's right. Here's what's wrong. And that is what infuriates me.
I think, first off, I get you. I agree. I think that most people don't communicate like us.
They don't.
But you studied I studied communication. You did. My whole world. I'm an interpreter. My whole thing is communication. And you with psychology.
So it's interpersonal communication, which I say is the little brother of psychology.
So your whole skill is that, and it's sort of like when you meet a friend group, or when you get perfect comedy example, when you get heckled by the funny one in the friend group, in the audience, where the guy who's like, I'm always the wacky, I'm Barney, but for my friend group, and it's like you are not on the same level as us with a mic.
Right.
It's not the same thing. I think most people in terms of intercommunication are that person. They think that they're...
Everyone does.
Right.
Every single person thinks they are phenomenal at this shit. And then I would go as far as say, I know I'm not the greatest communicator, of course, but I know the things that make me be not that. Yep. Like, I know where my faults are. Other people will go by, oh, like, no, I'm pretty great at it. And like, I guess I don't always do. No, I can tell you why and what I'm doing wrong and how it came to be. And then the thing is I'm working on it constantly. I'm a comic. I'm self-analytical. I'm hyper cynical of most things. I want to be great at everything. Communication is one of those things. So like, I'll tell my friends off the gate, if we're having a dispute and two people agree and then it's with me, you have to talk one at a time. Because I was raised by 9 siblings who would yell at me all the fucking time, and I would lose my mind. You can't do that. I
have a communication request. I think I found the key. You don't like scheduling.
I can't.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
And I understand and respect your feelings.
Thank you.
And your penis is huge.
Not at all.
Is it? Not really? Okay. Well, good for you. You don't like scheduling. That's fair. You like shit off the cuff.
Yep.
Okay. For me, I like scheduling, but it's more that I like for someone to reach out to me. I liked it. It makes me feel like I remember. I'll get ready for some feelings. Okay. I remember when quarantine first hit. Okay. And my instinct, as I'm sure you've picked up on, reach out to people. Right. Like I think a big part of it is a fear of death. I don't know if you know my grandpa died when I was about 13, 14. We've covered it. Okay. And then I had a friend who committed suicide when he was a senior in high school and I was a freshman in college. Right. And in my head, it made this thing where I'm like, you never know. Right. You never fucking reach out. And so it's the pandemic. The world's ending as far as we know. So I'm reaching out to people. I remember this. I would reach out to people, and then time would go by, and I had a lot of quiet time, and I sat around. And I was like, I wonder what happens if I don't say anything to anybody. Silence from a lot of people that I would have hoped would have reached out. It's like, you're not doing anything. I know you're not doing anything. so the excuse of I'm busy, bitch. No, you're not. You're watching Tiger King, drinking your third bottle of wine at noon. I fucking know you are. So, to me, being reached out to. So my request would be, if you're about to go out and do a thing, or you got a show, I'll come. I will come to support, even if I'm not on the show. I would come with you on the road. I would love to do that. I would come to you to hang out. If you just reach out to me the moment it happens, if you're like, hey, you're free to do this because this is what's happening. And if I have the space to say I'm not free or I am, then I'll do it. But that would make me feel cared about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. What are you thinking? Uh-oh.
I just wish you knew how my friends acclimated, because it's so insane.
Okay.
Like I will never act as if this isn't just an easy ass thing that you're telling me to do.
It's very easy.
But there's been some people that I've been like that I've mainly only been consecutively seeing, not consecutively, constantly. Like there's a couple people that I've constantly been seeing, and constantly been reaching out to, and they get so mad at me because they're like, why are you texting me at 11 p.m. saying you're on the way? Like, why didn't you say at 3 p.m. that you think around 11 you'd be free? I'm like, because I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about everything that I had to fucking do. And now that I'm done, I'm like, oh, I could see this person. And then, so like, yes, I could do that.
Please don't come here at midnight. Wait, what?
No. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that, like, as I'm moving and as I'm doing through, like, this doesn't sound rude. I'm very out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about the people that are like, oh, I know you're not doing anything. Like, why didn't you reach out to me? It's like, I'm not doing anything, but like, you're not my roommate.
Sure.
So like, I'm not thinking about, real shit. And if anyone is watching this that knew, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I reached out to literally anybody.
Sure.
During quarantine.
Let me add a caveat to that.
Right.
I have an issue with control, and I did come to a space where I was like, they're dealing with their lives.
If there were people that I got ripped away from, I'd be like, yo, are you good? But that's because we got ripped away.
Sure.
Like we were living together. That's actually what happened. I reached out to people that I got ripped away from. But other than that, I wasn't texting like my cousin, like, yo, you good? I was like, dude, I haven't fucking seen you, and like, I'm not thinking about you right now.
And that's fair. I think it's a fair thing. For me,
Right.
it's like
You want to see? Damn.
You okay?
Bit the fuck out of my tongue.
Ooh.
You want to see if you are on people's minds, without you being the initiator of the conversation.
Yeah, and it's not all the time. Like I don't mind reaching out. I'm perfectly fine with reaching out. It's like when I've reached out 50 times, it's at a certain point. It's like, well, all right, this is starting to feel insulting. So
I feel that way. I do feel that way. So I sympathize with you in that regard.
Yeah.
Because whatever people I do talk to, if I don't hear back from them, I'm like, but that's that whole thing where it's like my ego. Where it's like, I reached out to you. I never do that shit. And then you're not going to fucking reach back out to me. And so I feel you in that kind of like egotistical standpoint.
yeah, I'm sure there's ego part of it. But like we're going to go, what are we going to do? We're going to do the escape room. Mm-hmm. Like that little group message, you, me, and Aaron and whatever. Like,
scheduling for that shit stresses me out. I'm like, can y'all just pick a fucking day and then I'll just see if I'm free or not.
I believe you. That's another thing. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to organize a bunch of
Right.
people, a bunch of comics nonetheless.
Right.
So I'm doing my best with that, but I'd imagine that was stressing you out.
It does. I don't think I've said a word in there except for I had a show that day.
Yeah. I will talk to you separate from it.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Because if you go like, hey, we have these 3 dates, which one works for you? That's easy.
I'll do that.
Because then I can just,
Yeah.
cool.
I'll do that. And that's me adjusting, man. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you're so kind.
I was saying, like,
I wish I could do more of that. I think I'm pretty malleable.
Sure.
But there's no excuse. I think I'm pretty malleable, but I'm not as malleable as I think. That's it. No
Okay,
excuse.
that's fair. But you get the reaching it. Like when I say like I can adjust to your schedule thing. I don't need to schedule shit. Just hit me up. And if I can't make it, I'll say no. Mm-hmm. And if I can't make it, I'll be like, okay.
Right.
Can that be done?
Yeah, but like when I'm doing what?
I don't know. If you have a show that's a booked show, say, hey man, I'm gonna be here at this time. Or I got a show in 10 minutes, 30 minutes.
I know I'm at Laugh Factory like every Tuesday, unless I'm doing a show.
Sure.
So you want me to be like, yo, head to the Laugh Factory?
Yeah, sure. Let's start there. Yep. If you're at the Laugh Factory, say, I'm at the Laugh Factory, come on over. And if I can't, I just won't. And if I can, I will.
Pray to God I remember.
Okay.
But then you also know how, okay. Jesus, my brain is so insane. Okay. So the other thing is,
yeah.
And I'm not saying this to you.
Okay.
I'm saying this in like my past.
Before you say it, let's do the thing. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this in like reference to my past. I've always in my friend, and I like it and I appreciate it. I've always been like, oh, Kyron's the outgoing one. Kyron's gonna get us in somewhere for free. He's gonna make it work. When this is done, he's gonna find someone's house for us to go to. So I've always been that type of that dude. Mm-hmm. The guy who's just like, yeah, just give me the stick and I'll lead the walk. That's been me in every friend group. And I like it, and it feeds my sense of, or my desire to control. Mm-hmm. But then where it's bit me in the ass is, like, I remember a lot of times growing up where I would organize something, high school or the beginnings of college, and I would have the core with me. And my core is just like, oh, Kyron's going to handle it. So it's not a scheduling thing. It's more so just Kyron going like this. And I'm like, good, everybody? And they're like, good. And then if someone is like, not good, I'm like, well, then figure it out.
Sure.
Because I spend all my I get stressed and I easily agitated. Mm-hmm. So if everyone is like, we're good, and then you're like, fuck that, then you figure it out. If I edit a video for you, that was about to be personal and about something completely separate.
Oh, Jesus.
But basically, there's someone who has given me a lot of criticism on shit that I've done and created for them.
Okay.
And they are alone in their criticism, yet they expect me to adhere to it.
This is very vague, and I don't want you to out whatever the situation.
I won't at all.
But is there any more context you can give me? Because I don't understand what you're saying.
They're the only one that has this criticism. Everyone else is cool, and they're like, no. And then I'm like, okay, I've kept my peace. Uh-huh. I say, oh, sure, maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try that. Right? I've done that 6-7 times. Now, when you're alone, rebuttals come out and they're alone, then here, you do it, and then you see.
Can I ask what the criticism was, or is that going to bring too much information?
Not bring too much information, but it's just like shit that I've created.
Okay.
And then they're just like, and then I'm just like, and I've been like, okay, I'll change it, but now I'm just like, if there's an then I'm like, okay, here's the raw everything, you handle it.
Okay.
And then you see what it's like when you spend 30 fucking minutes doing some shit, and then everyone's like, great, and then one person's like, you'll see. But anyways, so the thing is like, so when I was growing up, and then I'm formulating all this shit, and all my friends are like, yeah, we trust you. Because there's a thing of just like, yeah, we trust you. We're not going to, like, what? Come on, it's going to be fun no matter what. We know this. And then what happens is that there will always be one person who's not in the core, but they hear about me saying some whatever, so then they come, and then I have to, like, babysit them all night. And that drives me insane.
Can I ask, so if we'll use this Laugh Factory shit as an example.
I'm not saying that about you.
Oh, that's, okay.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you'd have to babysit me?
No. That's just part of the stress that comes in with that.
Okay.
Is that I've done it so much, and then that started happening a lot. And then I'm just like, oh, I don't think I want to do this either. I'm not talking about you. I'm genuinely not talking about
right. No, that makes sense. I think that makes sense. And I find it funny that that's the logic of you. Everyone else is saying this, but you're the one outlier, so feels very scientific almost.
I get like I know that I'm insane.
You think you're insane? I
know I am. But there's like, my brain is like, I don't know how mentally stable I am. I'm pretty happy. And happy is a shitty word. I'm pretty grateful.
Okay.
Happy is a shitty, shallow word. I'm pretty grateful. I'm not that pessimistic about shit because I have so much to be grateful for. But my brain is really insane because a lot of people have done a lot of damage to my psyche from a really young age. And then I got into like drugs and alcohol at a really young age. And then I stopped most of it for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. And it kind of fell back in. Well, stopped alcohol for 6 years, stopped nicotine for 2 years, stopped weed for like a year. And then like that was cool. And then I was like, oh, well, a lot more stress has happened since all of these being. Let me pick some. And now I don't really have like substance problems
Mm-hmm.
anymore, which is nice. The fuck am I even talking about? Basically, what I'm saying is my brain is fucked up.
I feel the same. No, okay, I'll talk a little bit. I feel the same about my brain being fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's really, I think what makes it hard for me is I'll have moments where I'll do or say something that I'm sure is very strange to people.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, the memory thing.
Right.
I won't say who, but it was embarrassing. I'll type it to you. It was embarrassing. I went to the Laugh Factory, and there was this new person there, sitting there next to another person. And the new person was like, "Hey, I'm such and such." I said, "Oh, what's up, man? Nice to meet you. I'm Aaron." And the person next to them, I said, "Hey, I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you." And it was this person. And they were like, "Aaron, it's me." And I was like, "Oh no. Oh my God." And then I had to, it was so embarrassing. Then afterwards
Fucked up.
yeah. Then afterwards I had to say, like, I have a head injury and I have a really bad memory. I don't think I don't think
That is so funny. I have a head injury.
I had like,
It sounds like such a bullshit excuse,
but it's very
but it's real.
It's
That's
very
why
real.
it's so funny.
And so I had to be like, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I don't think I have. And she was like, no. They were like, no. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, it's fine. It's fine. But like, that's what I mean. I get into what are you thinking? What are you
Just
thinking?
fucked up.
Yeah.
I'll give you some LA advice.
Sure.
This is why I hate LA, because they're so fucking synthetic. But no one in LA says nice to meet you. They say so great to see you, or so great to see you again, because it implies that you've already met.
Right.
You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings that you may have already met. And I do it all the time.
That's fair.
I do
And
it all the time.
I should start doing that.
You genuinely should.
I should start doing that.
Everyone should. It's a great piece of advice from shitty people.
But that's the thing is, in this, I think I'm a shitty person in a lot of ways. In this way, I'm not a shitty person. It's just the circumstance.
But it's how it made someone feel.
Right. Yes.
And it's easily avoidable. Oh, shit, so good to see you. Yeah. Instead of nice to meet you, I'm Aaron.
Yes.
And then if someone will be like, and this is like the kind of like manipulative aspect of communication.
Okay.
But then they would like feel bad, like, oh shit, I don't remember that person's name. They're like, did we? It's kind of like gaslighting a little bit, but it's good to solve.
Let me just say, you're right. I will start doing that, or different versions of that, because
Right.
I do have that a little bit. Like, I don't say nobody's name. I say, "What's up, man?"
Yep, I do that all
I
the
say,
time.
"What's up, man?" I don't know nobody's name.
I don't remember you niggas' names.
But it's not even in the cocky, sexy way that you just did it with your legs crossed and everything. The very sassy. That was very sassy.
Okay, I was gonna say cocky. No, sassy. Ow. Ow.
It's a sincere, like, I want to remember your name, but I physically, like, it's gonna take a while, and I don't have time to sit people down and be like, okay, so once upon a time I got
Right.
punched in the fucking temple,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. But it like a moment like that is like, is this why I don't get booked? Is this a good example of why? Like, am I doing this over and over? Am I fucking myself?
Yeah, that one sounds like it.
It sounds bad, right?
That one was. That's
It's really
pretty,
bad.
Like,
It's really, really bad.
And then the head injury is so funny because it sounds like such bullshit.
It sounds like I'm making shit up.
Yes.
It really does, but I'm
Oh,
not.
my bad. I got my brain.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And it's like, what are you gonna do? I'm never gonna forget now. I'm never gonna forget this person.
Yeah.
Usually when a thing happens, I'm locked in. Or if someone has a fucking chicken wing, I'm never gonna forget chicken wing. I'm never gonna forget Tiny Thickums.
Right.
Because how the fuck do you forget?
How could you forget Tiny
How
Thickums?
could you cannot forget?
How
Tiny
could you
Thickums. It's
forget?
impossible.
Yeah. True to name.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it's embarrassing.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
Yeah, but that's happened. Versions of that has happened over and over again.
Nigga, stop introducing
No,
yourself.
but not that. But meaning like in a way I couldn't have escaped. And I don't have examples for you, but like in ways I couldn't have escaped, that has happened. And it's so tough. It's just tough because it's like, well, now I have to. It's like I have to accept who I am and what I've experienced and navigate that.
You're also a comic. Make jokes out of it. Because I'll use this. There's a server at Laugh Factory, Roman.
Yeah.
And I don't know what. And I know Roman. I fucking like I've smoked weed with them and shit. Like I know Roman. But for some reason I'm doing my goodbyes. You know, I go hug everybody, say goodbye because I like to say hello to you and say goodbye to you. It's like it's personable. And I said, all right, bye, Remy. I said that to Roman. I was like, bye, Remy. And Roman was like, what? And I was like, bye, Remy. And then Roman was like, that is not my name. And I was like, and then in the moment I realized that it wasn't, but their name wasn't in my head.
Yeah.
So then they're like, what's my name? And I was like, and like, I know Roman.
Yeah.
I know Roman's name. I know Roman. And so then I felt bad. And I was like, oh my God. And then I hugged Roman and shit. And then I leave. And then like for like the next couple of times that I saw them, I'll go like, what's going on, Remy? And just make a little joke about it. Just so you know that I feel bad. So that's always an avenue.
It is an avenue. And
don't let it be a stinker. Let
Sure.
it be a moment that occurred and then turn into something.
I'm with you. It's for me, I have to keep working on not being so like turning that on. You turn on the charm very well.
I think that's genuinely just me.
Okay. Well, then that's genuinely just you. I'm not
because I don't like to be on. I don't think I'm an on, and that's what sorry, but this is super important to me.
Yeah.
I fucking hate seeing people that turn their shit on.
Yeah.
Because you can see it, and I don't live like that. I don't live by turning on a portion of me. That's just how I am.
I would say then. Sorry. Do you have more to say?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that shit really ruffles my fucking feathers. If you recall, here, I'll do the little typing thing too. We're getting fucking sneak dissy on this bitch.
Oh Lord. Okay.
When you someone just said they missed me, and I'm gonna forget to respond.
Why? Say it now.
I can't. We're doing this.
Okay.
Right here.
Who is that?
Okay.
Oh.
Turned on all the time, and I saw it, and it took people forever to fucking see it with them.
Sure.
And that's the shit that drives me insane. Because people have told me, when I first met you, I thought you were like whatever. And they're like, but then you just didn't stop.
Yeah.
Like you kept, like you take me to my car and shit. And now I'm not saying this is like everyone praise me. I'm not saying it. But I'm saying like, could we for once just fucking see when it's bullshit? Because how could you believe, this really infuriates me. How could you believe, because it feels disrespectful to be like, I am the same archetype as this person. Is everyone here a fucking idiot? Can you not see the opportunistic shit? And then
Go ahead.
that shit infuriates. And then my thing is, I'm genuine and like I'm like in your face and whatever, because I have always felt unlovable. And so I just want to be a person that is easily lovable. That's my intent. That's my prerogative. That's the secret behind, why is Kyron nice and why does he smile? Because I want to be lovable. That's it. And there's all these other people that you can see clearly that want gain. And now we're comics. Do we all want to do shows? Do we all want to do? Of course. Of course I want to do your show. Of course I want to get taken on the road with you. Of course. But what this baseline shit is I just want you to think of me and think of a good person. Because I have spent the majority of my life being this weird ass nigga, just being this, and people applying a bunch of other shit to it and treating me as if I'm less than a good person. So it's insufferable to me. There's no, and I know that you didn't mean it as in turn on. I really know you didn't mean it, but that shit was on my heart the other day. I don't turn anything on. I don't like to be on. This is how I am. This is how I am. And this is how you met me. And this is through months, and through breakups, and through fucking trials and tribulations, and through depressions, and through fucking smoking my brains out all last summer. None of it changed. Can we assume, maybe, that it's fucking genuine? And there are people that, like I said, I don't like. And then even then with them, it's still kind at its base level. The type of archetype like this and that you're associating me to, they don't do that. This is the shit that I studied. I can give you examples. I can show you textbooks. I can send you an academic scholarly paper about this shit. They don't do the thing that I do. If you want to get really technical about the shit, there are classes and there are classes like grade tiers. There are grade tiers in comedy and they're so clear. I was telling Kadeem the other day, I'm like, you know that you graduated? He's like, what do you mean? Like JFL audition, CYSK. You graduated. I'm like, and I'm so fucking proud of you, right? There are tiers, and that's an example of a tier. I don't know what tier I'm on. I think I'm fucking at the bottom of the barrel. Genuinely, I do.
You're not, I am.
But genuinely, I do. I don't feel not the bottom of the. I feel like I don't know where I am, but I don't think that it's. I know that it's not where I want to be, so I'm just not paying attention.
Sure.
And so, say that I'm right here. Yes. Let's keep it ambiguous. Say that I'm right here, right? You don't know where the ceiling is, right? Say that I'm right here. The archetype that you're associating me to when you say that I'm this and this, they don't speak to these tiers. They don't give these tiers opportunities to be on shows. They don't give these tiers advice. They don't give these tiers ride homes because these tiers can't benefit them. Why the fuck do I do it? Other than I am me and this someone on this tier had a conversation and I was like, oh shit, you're dope.
Do you feel like that person is on that tier roughly with you?
With me? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even want to. I don't know.
Okay.
But I know that whatever tier this person is on, I have seen how they treat tiers way up there. Because again, keep it ambiguous. Don't want to put the ceiling here because then they're like, why does Kyron say that he's right here? If the ceiling's right here, Kyron, if the ceiling's right here, then anyway. so I know that. Say that this person's on this tier. I have seen how this person and several other people have spoken about people on these tiers. If they're right here, I have seen how they have treated and spoken to people right here. Or if they're right here, I have seen how they have treated and spoken to people right next to them. I've seen it. And it fucking ruffles my feathers.
Seems to bother you a lot.
When people go like, oh, I thought you were, and I'm just like, that? It seems almost wildly disrespectful. But I guess that people, like we said, they all think that they're so great and a good whatever. And so now people are coming around like, oh, did you know this about? And I'm like, yes.
So I've met the person that you're talking about. I don't think I've ever had a long conversation with this person. So that will
keep this as ambiguous as possible.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay. My rule is I will take in what you say, and until I interact with that person enough to build my own opinion.
Fuck what I say. You can love the person.
No, I'll probably just like them. But
right. That's funny. Good call. That.
No, but I just have to. Whenever I interact with this person, and I have a few interactions, I will report back with my findings.
I would be surprised if you, because people have.
I believe you.
People have come around and have spoken to me. And be like, yeah, I didn't even expect it. And I'm like, have you paid attention? Mm-hmm. Have you looked at attitude and the way that they speak to people? That's another thing. If someone is constantly coming to you to talk shit, what makes you think that when you're not around, nothing is being said about you? There are archetypes about people. And everyone thinks that they have such a good judge of character, but if you have a good judge of character, sure, then you're pissed at pattern recognition. That's what people are. We're really not that different as a whole.
What would make what we're doing different to you? Because I do think it's different. The difference between someone who talks shit constantly and what we're doing right now.
Right now?
What do you think is different about this?
It's the difference between a feeling and the difference between real world examples. Yes, you can call that shit anecdotal and sum it up to that. Or we can be fucking for real for a second and look at real world examples that have textbook definitions for what they are. And then you can look at what profession they're in. You can look at what their parents' income is and how this curates the archetype of your fucking soul and ego. And then you watch it get played out in front of you. And you want to argue after that? Like, is there anything to argue about after that? I think this person's a piece of shit. Why? Because they're a fucking white. And then I go, okay, like, cool, great, that's how you feel. But if I go like, I think that this person has moral superiority. Why? And then I give you examples that line up with the definition of moral superiority. It's not the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's not the same thing.
We almost missed it. Now we got all on this because I said that you were saying turn it into a joke, and I was sick.
Right.
Implying that you turn it on, which you do not. I acknowledge that.
You're fine. I know that that's not what you were saying.
Right. This person turns it on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. For me, and you were saying that the reason you are the way you are is because you want to be lovable. You want to be lovable. And that's a genuine, that's not a, I want to get something from being lovable. It's a coming from trauma and a lot of, it's who
just
you are.
Love me. My parents didn't, my family didn't.
I think the way I approach it is less wanting to be lovable and more wanting to be understood. So it's why this podcast is the way it is. It's why in that situation, my natural inclination isn't to start making jokes. It's to be like, I have a head injury. It's because I want you to understand. It sounds so fake. It sounds so unreal.
That is so funny. You should make a joke out of that.
I'm actually working bits about that.
I haven't had an injury.
I have a head injury.
I got a head injury.
But it's like I want to be understood.
Right.
That's all. Like I want people to just get me a little bit. And I think I can filter that through comedy more.
You can.
And I should. I'm working on all of this stuff. But it is difficult. Mm-hmm. Which is very difficult. I don't know how I turned that situation. It's funny in retrospect when I tell people about it, but
it's very funny.
The situation itself, I don't fucking know how to make that humorous without it being weird or awkward. So it's just something I'm going to work on. I want to end it with this question.
Why are we ending it?
Oh, we can keep going if you want.
We're having fun.
What do you want to talk about?
And we're talking.
Yes.
And isn't that what we fucking wanted to do? Was sit down and chat and hang out?
Yes.
I just got to eat. That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
You want some food? I have some chips.
Let me see. Well, that's what made me puke my gun.
No, not like hot chips. I got some pretzels.
We'll figure it out. I'm okay right now.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay.
What is the question, though?
The question was, what is your analysis? What is your Chiron? What is your Chi analysis of me when you first met me? Now you have all this data over about 2 years.
Okay.
And what's your Chiron description of me now? While you do it, I'm gonna grab you food monkeys.
Don't. Say my name again.
Chiron.
Why do you say Chiron the whole time?
Because it's fun.
Okay. Liar.
Come on, I'm gonna get you food monkeys, man.
What the hell is? Oh, I thought you were saying I'm gonna get you food, comma monkey.
No, food.
I thought you were calling me monkey.
No, food monkeys.
And you're like, I'm gonna get you food, monkey. That's what I thought you were saying.
I didn't. You know my catchphrases.
Monkey.
No.
What?
Oh, okay. So I have a bunch of catchphrases. So for example, if we go to a restaurant, like let's say we go to McDonald's.
Okay.
We're not going to McDonald's. We're going to Dick Donald's.
Aaron. I wish y'all could. You was so proud of that. The corner of his lip curled up. I cannot believe how proud you were of that.
But okay. So
you wanted to be like stand up and give you a standing ovation for saying Dick Donald's to me.
Yeah, Dick Donald's. So there's Dick Donald's. I told you about Ripley's.
What?
Okay, so breasts are Ripley's, and then the nipples are Rips.
I fuck with that.
Okay.
Because that's different.
Yeah, you know about wiggly ears versus crispy
We've been
ears.
over that.
We've been over the wiggly versus
I
crispy.
fuck with that.
Okay. Did I tell you about... So food monkeys.
But Ripley and Rips is good. Because I like when people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like me and my friends, this is pretty fun.
Okay.
I hope no one steals this because me and my friends, we call like a nice ass a pooper. And that is like my favorite thing on the planet.
Why?
It's just so funny. And then like we call nice breast power wash. Well, no one else calls them power washers, but I do. and I think that it's so. But like that, it makes such nonsense. that's why I love it. Because it's not a thing where it's like, oh, she got the fuck. Like, it's not like me, like a derogatory. It's just me going like, she got power washers. And it's just like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like, I don't know. It just makes sense in my brain.
Yeah, that's how.
So I like Ripley's and Rips. That's good.
Food monkeys is just food. You just add monkeys at
Oh,
the
so you
end.
just add, okay.
Just food monkeys.
Okay.
There's, God damn it. What else? There's others.
I have usually when I do nicknames for people, I lengthen their name. That's a thing that I do. For example, there's someone, I call her, Skip.
Okay. So what's your Chiron analysis of me when
Okay.
you first met me? What were you breaking down when you first met me versus now with context?
Body language was first. That's the first thing that I pay attention to.
Okay.
Body language is, you know that I teach kids. Should I just act like you're still sitting right here?
doesn't matter.
Okay. You know that this is such a good, I love good long episodes. I love them.
Do you like pickles?
I'm really okay. I'm fine. But no, I don't want them fucking pickles.
Cheese, some provolone?
Absolutely not. I don't like cheese. I'm a bougie bitch.
Like apple?
What? I don't like apples.
What about? I can make you a waffle.
I would eat a waffle, but don't make one. I'm not joking. Don't. Are those tortilla chips?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. Something nice and nice pH base.
What? What's pH based?
I don't know. I just meant like not too acidic, not too flavory.
Okay, so
Just something
my
calm.
body language.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I noticed.
Okay.
Did I tell you that I teach kids? And I'm going to get back to this question. I teach kids. And I teach them, like, I work outside of an agency, and I love this job. You've had my boss on. And I love this job. It's the first job I've ever had.
Boss on?
Mm-hmm.
This podcast? Can you write it down?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But, like, this is the first job I've ever had in my life outside of stand-up that I don't hate. Like, I love this job because I love kids. And so I work outside of an agency, and I teach them how to do, like, commercials, monologues, runway. And that's all shit that I have by now, like, 7 years of experience in. Right? Holy shit. 7 years of experience in. I just threw that off the top of my brain.
Nice.
And so, like, I get to teach them something that I'm also passionate about and something that I care a lot about. And then I get to, like, watch them flirt. I love it. And within that, body language is such a huge part of anything performative. And then I've also realized that was like the first thing that I mainly cared about a lot. Because it's what I use to gauge people. Because it used to be body language is 50%. Body language is 60%. 75%. Body language is about 93% of how we communicate.
Okay.
What I don't like about this is that they say, oh. What I don't like is when people say that tone is a part of body language. I hate that. That inherently makes no sense. They say that tone as in the tone of your voice. So if I go like, good, how are you? They say that that's body language. I don't think that tone is body language. If you look in any fucking book or whatever, they will tell you, yes, it is. That pisses me off. But that's the first thing that I pay attention to, and it's the main thing that I pay attention to. So for you, your body language was very relaxed, but almost to the point where I was like, I think you're lazy.
Context. I'm making a face. Or you thought I was lazy?
Your body language was so relaxed to the point of I thought you were lazy. You want honesty or you want me to not be?
No, I'm not upset. I'm fascinated.
Uh-huh.
Keep going. You thought I was lazy? Okay.
Yeah, the way that you sat was very manly.
Oh, because I was on stage sitting?
No. When we referred now, I don't know if this is us first meeting. I'm remembering when I first remember.
Sure,
us meeting.
yeah, whatever, yeah.
And your body language is big. You had relaxed jeans on. You had big fucking worker Timberland boots on and shit. And you have your book bag and you had this sway about you. And it was big and manly, but lackadaisical. And that was confusing to me. First.
Big, manly, lackadaisical.
Big as in you took up space.
Okay.
Manly because of how you were sitting.
Okay. But lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical because as big as you were, you sat like this.
Now, why did that confuse you?
Because from what I remember, we weren't close. And so this is how you're first meeting a person. And when you first meet a person, laxly, it gives off the appearance of you don't care. If you first meet a person, usually what you want to do is mirror the person. So that could also overshadow how you're just confident and how you didn't feel a need to mirror. Because usually what you do is you mirror a person, You do a lot of self-maintenance things whenever you're talking to a new person, specifically if you're talking to, this is important. I'm about to give y'all a free game. You don't have to go to college if you listen to this. You do a lot of self-maintenance.
Me or people in general?
People in general, when you're meeting someone new. You'll talk to someone and you'll do this a lot. You do this a lot as you're talking to them. Say that they cross their legs, you cross your legs. But what people would typically want to do is remain open, have a smile, have your eyes be easy, and don't purse your lips because that shows content or frustration or like, oh, I know better than you, basically. So for you to be so lax while meeting a new person gave off, oh, you don't give a fuck about anything.
Okay.
It did.
Okay, keep going. What else? Yeah, this is fascinating to me. Keep going.
As we were diving in, I learned about California. And so I was like, okay, so he's white.
Oh, the black, white, sure. Okay.
That type of thing. There's a lot of white inside you. And there seemed to be like an intentional, what's the correct word for this? There seemed to be like an intentional desire to revolt against the internal whiteness.
That's fair. Continue.
That's it on that front. Seemed like you cared about comedy. Because I remember at this point I had seen you get up a couple times. I don't know. Those are the big three.
When you first met me.
Yeah.
Well, with the whole white, all that stuff. If that's how I was coming off, I'm that's a subconscious thing, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that was the case because a big part of me coming out here was to escape that and to find a black community.
He'd be right.
I don't like even letting you know that you're right about shit because it's like you're like Rachel.
Why?
You right, I'm right. God damn it. I'm right about everything. I'm so right. This is what Rachel sounds like.
I work hard to be right.
I'm right. Nigga, I'm so right.
When I don't have the right answers, I try to not say anything.
The right dance. Nobody can see it, but this is the right.
I wish they could see that dance.
This is the right dance.
He's proud of that one, too. Same he was a Dick Donalds and shit.
like I'm silly. I'm really silly when you get to know me.
Oh, you are.
But I think I come off, especially on stage, I think I come off pretty serious.
You come off like a pretty threatening black man.
Let's get into that.
Ah!
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm so scared of you. No, you just have a big presence. Big and masculine presence. And you're black.
I find it fascinating you keep using the word masculine because that's not how I've been described.
You have a masculine presence. Well, who's described you? Idiots? Look at how you position yourself. Look at how you contain yourself. Look at what you're wearing. This is masculine. This is traditional. This garb, traditional Southern hood black man. No bullshit.
Wait, can you describe what I look like?
Black wife beater, some long ass, for no reason long. Almost comically long fucking gym shorts and no socks. There is company over right now, sir. He got no socks on this motherfucker.
You are not company.
That is masculine.
Okay.
You come over I got a silk robe on and shit. I got a...
So, yeah, when I first moved here, there was this sense of I need to escape that. But I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know myself.
Thank you, please, by the way, if I didn't say thank you.
You good. Yeah, I didn't know myself. And I think I actually, before I even say it, okay, so that was your first impression of me. And then now, what is your breakdown of me now with context?
Very emotional. You are very, very emotional. And, okay, very emotional. And I sympathize with that because I am too. I think that you are, right, let me frame it like that. I think that you are very willing to jump over some hurdles that you may not necessarily want to jump over to get your idealistic version of community.
Please elaborate.
I don't know how else to. You are very willing to maybe compromise too much to get your idealistic version of community.
I will. Well, let's dig into that.
Mm-hmm.
Willing to compromise a little too much to get my idealistic version of community.
Yes.
Do you have an example?
Yes.
Is it going to upset me based off of your face?
I don't know.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't know if you want me to bring it up.
Can you type something to me?
It has to do with the thing that you called me about when I was in Wisconsin that no longer made sense moving forward.
The thing I called you about when you were in Wisconsin that no longer makes, did it have to do with a girl? Did it have to do with my last relationship? Let me type some shit. This is intense.
I only want to give the truth, and you asked for an example.
No, I just hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
I feel like there was an obstacle that you jumped over in the pursuit of this, and I don't know.
Was it the long distance?
Yes. And
Okay.
I don't think that was actually something that you desired. I think that it was something that you were willing to go through for a means to an end.
Yes. I would say yes. Okay. God damn, you're making this is why I don't want to say you're right. This little moment right here, shut the fuck up. I will turn the camera off.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But at least you know I'm good at this. I pay attention. I really do pay
God.
attention because I care about you.
I thank you.
If I didn't care about you, I'd just be like, I don't know what the fuck. What do you mean what I think about you? I don't think, nigga. I'd be like everybody else on this planet. I don't think. What you mean?
Gay, dog.
Hey,
Think out here.
remind me of high school right now.
But yeah, it was a hurdle. It wasn't something I was excited about. But at the same time, I think part of it is I am stubborn and I don't change much. So I was like, no, what's that?
You're stubborn, but you do change. You are malleable.
Recently.
Okay, fair.
Very, very recently. Mm-hmm. And so at the time, that was me trying to be malleable. That was me being like, let me. Yes, it was me compromising, but it was also me being like, this is different.
Let's try something.
Yeah,
different.
let me try something different. Maybe
Fair.
approach this relationship different. And it was working really well until it wasn't.
That's everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
He just slobbered down this
It's CBD.
this CBD and made eye contact with me while he did it. Shouldn't have opened the episode how I opened the episode.
Yeah, I mean, at least I didn't. I was gonna make a reference, but
If there was an Xbox here, nigga. Oh, if there was an Xbox, someone would be getting sucked up. All right.
those are the rules. I want community so fucking bad. So that is something that is very true to me. But I think part of it was because I grew up watching those goddamn sitcoms. Boy Meets World and Fresh Prince. And like sitcoms inherently are ensemble experiences.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I'm like, yeah, we all got to be, on set together and all bullshit. And there's just been like a sense of loneliness in my life.
Yes.
And so I want community. Yeah.
Something that I'm really afraid of is getting close with new people. And it's been this way for actually probably since high school. Because I've had so much happen to me so young. People usually think that I'm older. And I really appreciate when people say that. They're like, you have like life experience and wisdom and shit. Like, and I really appreciate that. That means like, that's like one of the biggest compliments outside of you're the funniest person in life. But with that one, it's like, I'm joking. It's like, that thing is the reason that I'm so reserved with new people. I'll love you, but it's the whole like you thing. Because to like you, I have to tolerate you and let you in. And I don't like repeating myself. And there's been a lot that has happened in my life. And I knew that we were close because I was talking to you, and I think I told you this, about shit that was currently happening. And I don't do that with people. I do not do that with people.
What made you do that with me?
I liked you.
Why?
Why are you coughing directly into the microphone?
This is my podcast. I can do what I want.
That's fair. That's fair. I didn't even hear what you asked me. That was just distracting the life out of me.
I suppose, I think part of the reason why I'm curious of what your analysis of me was back then and now is because you analyze people a lot.
Yep.
And I think you're good at it. Please stop jerking yourself off.
Do y'all hear that?
Oh, my God.
Hope y'all hear that.
And it makes me wonder, what is it about me that makes you feel comfortable doing that, I guess?
You're weird.
Okay.
I like weird people. You're genuine. And that's the main thing. You're genuine. When I come around you, it's not like if we were hanging out and the whole time you were talking about like Dick Donald's for the flappy titty, I'd be pissed off. Like, we're human beings. Let's have a fucking conversation, please.
Sure.
We went over this.
Yeah.
Let's have a fucking conversation, please.
Yep.
Let me learn something that is hurting you right now. That's how I get close to people. When you take off that whole fucking... Because I'm pretty much an open book, but here's my manipulative trick. I'm an open book... I shouldn't even give this away because it's so real and... whatever.
We're here now.
I'm an open book, but about things that I've already resolved. So people think that I'm open, but they don't know what is currently bothering me. They know shit that I already handled. And that's because I've had a lot of people leave my life and then try to use what was currently bothering me against me. So the way that I'll let you in is by giving you old shit as your test. And then if you leave and try to mention this old shit, I'm like, who gives a fuck? I handled that 3 years ago. But you perceive it as open because a lot of people won't come up to you and talk to you about shit that's bothering them. But it's not. This is what was bothering me.
That's an interesting little trick you got there.
Yeah, it's...
Manipulative.
Yeah, it is.
You're manipulative.
Yeah, not in the way that the word is. Not in the way that the word is.
Huh?
Like, I don't harm people. I don't. Don't do that. I don't.
Don't do what?
Don't do this like this facetious shit that you're doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That. This is tone. Non-bot. This call this nonverbal, but you hear that tone. I don't know what you're talking about. Now he's hitting this blunt like fucking Jackie Brown and shit, trying to seduce me.
I've only seen that movie once, and I really need to rewatch it.
Me too. I don't feel the need to rewatch it.
Have you ever been to Alamo Drafthouse?
No, it sounds like they have beer there. I'm not a man. I don't drink beer.
We're going to Alamo Drafthouse.
I don't drink beer.
No. It's a movie theater.
Oh.
Kai, you need to experience Alamo Drafthouse.
Why?
It is the greatest movie experience you could possibly have. Even if the movie is terrible, your experience of the experience is going to be... So they have these beautiful, big, cushy chairs. They have a real menu with real food.
Expensive.
No. The I'll pay for you. They have the tickets are like $10. They get you in the food, but it's not like the way they do it in these shitty theaters. It's like real food. They have a white slave that comes to you, and you it's a cinephile's dream. It's like if you really love and respect film and movies and the experience of it. Well, one day I will take it to Alamo Drafthouse, and I won't schedule it. I'll just say, Kai, we're going to Alamo Drafthouse.
I'm sure Ty would love it.
Yeah, Ty would love it as well. But it's been decided.
I'm real specific with movies. I'm not a movie guy.
Why?
Because they have an end, and I hate that. Shows don't have to have an end. It doesn't have to be wrapped up nicely, neatly. I'm talking about modern shows.
Sure.
Atlanta, Dave, BoJack, Attack on Titan. These are like my big 5 favorite shows. They don't have an end. Everything doesn't end sweetly and neatly the way that it should. That's what I like. A movie has to follow the hero's journey in order for it to be a good movie. Every movie. Name one.
I agree. I'm not gonna argue with you. You wanted me to argue with you. You were trying to make me argue with you.
No, I just want to talk about the hero's journey.
Okay, Star Wars. That's basic.
Yeah.
That's super basic. Let me get a little more complicated. John Wick.
I haven't seen it.
Whew.
I don't like movies that much.
Searching.
I don't know what that is.
Whiplash.
Nope.
Goodfellas.
Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting. Okay.
That's an anti-hero.
It is.
Oh, hold on 1 second. We'll wrap it up and we're gonna talk more.
Fuck the whatever.
Yeah. What's the your okay? So your breakdown of me. This will be the last thing. Your breakdown of me. What is
Okay.
it? What is it now?
I told you. Emotional, weird, genuine.
No, that's it.
Oh, and then willing to do the jump over obstacles. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's the end of the podcast.
That's it?
Yeah.
Hey, you can follow me on Instagram.
You think someone's gonna get to the end of this bitch?
No. KI_almighty. Follow me on Instagram everywhere. I love you. But I don't like you. Bye.